So today, Maddie and I wanted to take a moment to appreciate the comedy genius and the goofiness behind Aaron Fechter's Twitter. For those of you that have been living under a rock, a boulder, or etc., Fechter is the creator. Swamp. He's not the creator of a swamp. He is the creator of the Rockafire Explosion.
No, I'm saying the people who live in a swamp like Shrek.
You live in a swamp. Actually, does Georgia have swamps?
Yes.
Exactly. Georgia is a swamp.
Swamp ass.
Oh.
Well, I was going to say Fechter is someone who's very open about his political beliefs. This is something that he's been criticized for before, and it's a pretty polarizing thing in the community. There are people that are absolutely all for it and cheering him on for getting involved in this culture war. And then there are other people who are like, man, I just want to see funny robots. I don't care about this shit.
Yeah, which is sad. I mean,
yeah.
I care about political opinions. Not really, but still, I love to hear what,
Yeah, I understand both sides of the argument. I don't really care much about politics. I think our country's fucked either way, and just everyone hates each other, and we need some sort of big reset. I mean, George Washington was speaking facts when he warned us about all this nonsense about political parties. But I think Fechter's a really funny dude. He's someone...
What do you mean he was speaking facts? He owned slaves.
George Washington?
Yeah? George
Washington was actually very against the political parties in the beginning.
Excuse me, but I don't want to rain in your parade. But George Washington didn't even get to live in the White House. So,
yeah, they didn't have the White House back then.
I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what George Washington, he may have owned slaves, I don't know, I don't remember. I'm not I'm not a policeman, I'm not a bus passenger. So let's get to let's get to Aaron Fechter's beliefs about POCSAT.
POSCAT. Yes, he's making his own political party here.
Which is cute.
I'm proud to belong to the party of common sense and truth. POSCAT. Not a Dem, not a Repub, but a POSCAT. Some of my biggest fans who actually hate my guts don't want me to express political opinions on my Rockafire Twitter account. So, although I will not comply with this request, I have an idea I want to try. I will relate everything I post to the Rockafire Explosion, the same way my most ardent fans do, and may take a little twist and puss. But let's see how this works out.
My goodness, and the comments are already making me want to chuckle. One commenter says, Pistol Pete.
Yeah, that's
from
Pete
the
Fox.
Lewd Puppy Gang. Oh my god, Lord have mercy.
What would Antioch say about this?
What would Antioch say about this? He would go, which is literally what he sounds like. He doesn't even have a voice.
Yeah, Antioch is full of hot takes.
Yeah. And then the claw machine antagonist went,
"Ooh, I was so confused about your latest post. I see what you're doing now. Interesting concept."
And Flint, the 123 green bean, which also looks like a basic white woman with emo hair.
I'm interested to see how you will do this. Also, if you're confused of my relation with the fandom, I've been in the fandom since 2017 and went on tour of your original building, which is nice. We have a vintage fan over here.
Yeah, a vintage fan, 2017.
Yeah, so the Jefferson building's probably going to be demolished.
Yeah, he's been wanting to start up a creative engineering museum, which I think is a really good idea. I'm pretty hyped for that. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that whole process. I imagine once he's fully moved in, he'll do some update vlogs to keep us all in the loop. But it sounds like a pretty promising endeavor.
Let me be honest with you. Watch him demolish that building, and to prove that the building used to be here, he would just put a Billy Bob just in the middle of the demolished area.
There needs to be a giant Billy Bob statue next to that area. We'll have a big giant Billy Bob monument dedicated to the remnants of creative engineering.
Okay, as Billy Bob.
Billy Bob feels like that children under 30 years old should not be told that some people put things in their pooper scooper. Not many children used to do that in the 60s, so Billy Bob is just behind the times. Billy Bob feels that children are already uncomfortable enough about their poop shoots than to be taught by a book in their library how to be anally rahimed by a fellow student. He just doesn't understand how much advanced children are these days.
Now Rolf is totally okay with this being presented to children and some of his money invested in his book company, since he knows that the children, the beautiful kids, are going to be stealing this book from the library, and many more copies will be need to be replaced.
What doesn't understand what they were talking about, and has written his own book, how to insert your beak into all kinds of holes to find worms.
And Mitzi claims she never poops. So you heard it here, folks. Mitzi Mozzarella from the Rockafire Explosion does not produce bowel.
Yes, our delicate little Mitzi would never do something as gross and vile as pooping. What is that? You know, when Mitzi goes down on the fucking toilet to take a dump, rainbows and unicorns and sprinkles are coming out of that asshole.
In my world, everyone's a pony, and they all eat rainbows and poop butterflies.
Well, let's also see the tweet he's reacting to as well. Okay, Dr. Simon Godek says,
Godek.
Nowadays, if you oppose such books being read in school, you're considered a right-wing extremist and a bigot. It's utterly absurd, and in this book, we can see it's the lowdown on anal sex. Which, yeah, I agree. I don't think kids should be learning about anal sex.
I like how ugly these kids are. I don't like this period. Nah, but I'm more surprised at the fact that Mitzi doesn't poop. She doesn't poop.
I guess it's because she's female, and women don't poop.
Or it's because she's an animatronic with Mac valves and funatics and pancake cylinders and metal and just air flowing through her. I mean...
Yeah, when are animatronics going to get the poop upgrade?
No, I don't think we need that right now. Like maybe later. Maybe
the third
later.
generation of the Rockafire Explosion, they'll all have pooper holes.
We haven't even got the second gen yet. We haven't even got to see the second gen Beach Bear. We got
second gen Duke.
He's not even finished.
He can play the drums.
Yet. Okay. Someone. Bro can even hit the hi-hat. It's amazing how first gen Duke could play the hi-hat with his left hand, which you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to play your right. As a drummer, I should know because I'm a drummer.
He'll get there eventually. He's busy putting out bangers on Twitter.
Based on these opinions, I support Aaron Fechter's now created political belief. POSCAT.
POSCAT.
Meow.
Yeah, he's essentially just trolling all these people on Twitter that complain about him posting political stuff.
It's nice to see that an almost 70-year-old man could troll a generally 13 to above audience.
Now, homie's just having fun on Twitter.